truly meets that thing called life. Hope you're having yourselves a great morning this morning and taking care of yourself and being good to yourself and to other people. That's what's important. It's important to be healthy for you and be healthy toward others. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're having fun. Appreciate your patience this morning as we got ready to rock and roll here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life, from inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. And Cafe Kubal hanging out with you where sports truly meets life in these studios. Cafe Kubal on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, New York. You can also find them by going to the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road to Sweetheart Corners, and that is their drive-through location, and you can find them on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York. So, however you can connect with Cafe Kubal, we appreciate you doing that today, and of course you can go to cafekubal.com as well and grab something and have it sent right over to you. So, with that being said, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com is what's popping. We got a jam-packed, awesome show set up for you today, and I'm so ecstatic. We're going to make history as for the first time ever, we will be talking with the student athletes of the Bryant and Stratton College women's soccer team as we signed our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse. It was after their soccer season, so now we have the opportunity to speak with the players on this team, the student athletes, and I'm very excited. We have a bunch of Bobcat Buzz exclusives coming up for you, and we're going to give you two of those today. We're going to start off right around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Kahrie Welsh from St. Kitts, which has followed me a couple times in the past week here or so, and St. Kitts in a small island, and it's funny because I have Tommy Bahama Cologne, and my Tommy Bahama Cologne is St. Kitts. So, kind of funny how that's followed. There was also something down in Florida that was connected to St. Kitts, so kind of cool how that all works out. Kahrie Welsh is going to be joining us from the Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse women's soccer team, a national champion of 2021. She'll be joining me coming off of the team from last year, heading into this season for 2022, and we'll be doing an exclusive one-on-one conversation with Kahrie Welsh, and then around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, so they're on the 30s today, 9:30 for Kahrie Welsh and 10:30 for Maria Gabriela Cordeiro, who is from Brazil. She likes to be called Gabby, and she'll be joining us also from that 2021 National Championship team for the Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse women's soccer squad, and she'll be telling her story coming from Brazil to the United States and being a part of this team and being a goalkeeper on this team and not allowing a goal in the national championship. So, very happy to have Gabby on the show, and kind of woven throughout today's broadcast, we'll continue the conversation on Syracuse football. So, a lot of great stuff coming up, and I have some thoughts and some things to share from last night's awesome show on-site on location at the Wildcat Sports Pub, featuring the general manager of the Syracuse Mets, Jason Smorrell, for Wake Up Call's Syracuse Mets Spotlight Night. So, very, very excited to share all of this with you this morning. Happy to have you here. And the Bobcat Buzz is your new part of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse. Allows us the opportunity to share stories of student athletes, coaches, and administration at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse. And I am elated. We've had Alex Gregorita, the women's soccer head coach at Bryant and Stratton, on the show many a time, and now to have his student athletes really means a lot to me. And speaking of Alex Gregorita, this box is in direct connection to Alex, and you say, well, Dan, what is in this beautiful box? Well, here in this box, you talk about national champions. Well, the 2021 national champion team, the first national champion team ever in the history of Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse for women's soccer, is here. It's happened, and it's beautiful, and I'm so excited, and I'm so happy for them. So I have the Bryant and Stratton ring. It says USCAA 2021. It's got diamonds here. It's got the Bryant and Stratton logo, and then this is actually Alex Gregorita's. So you see it says Alex Gregorita, and it says coach on it. This is his ring on loan to me, and he kept his word. He said to me that they got the rings in, and I said, oh, when do I get one? And or something of that nature, and he said, you can borrow my ring, and you can have it for a bunch of shows. And when we went and I met with the women's soccer team this week, he took the box out, he gave it over to me, and he said, my word's my word, like, here you go, here's the ring, you get to hang on to it for me. And that was pretty incredible. And I was like, how long? He goes, have it for a bunch of shows, bring it back whenever. So, means a lot to me, and it is here in the studio. This is the ring for the national champion Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse women's soccer, winning their first ever national championship at Bryant and Stratton for the women's soccer team. Big ups to them, much pride for them. Bryant and Stratton with the logo just put right on top of this thing with a beautiful little diamond piece on both sides of this, and just a really awesome championship ring. It's huge, so I can put it on my thumb. And I said I only needed one more ring to be Johnny Depp. So my Jack Sparrow days are here to stay, as I now can wear this Bryant and Stratton ring. So I wanted to share this with you and let you know that I'm very, very excited for the team. If you didn't know they won a national championship, now you do. Definitely come out and see their games. And I'm just very excited for Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse, for all of their teams, including their women's soccer team that's going to be featured in the Bobcat Buzz pieces that we have for you today that are exclusive to Wake Up Call. So, proud to wear the ring, proud to be connected with this team, and happy to talk with them. And we'll be doing that in just a little bit here inside the Cafe Kubal studios on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We'll take a step aside for a fast break, and we'll be back here momentarily as we get you set for an awesome morning for you and for me, because it's all about taking care of ourselves, being good to ourselves, and spreading positivity. And that's exactly what we're going to do on Wake Up Call this morning, as always. So, with that being said, we'll take this step aside, and we'll be back with you in just a moment here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. And once again, I'm hoping nothing but the best for you. If you need the prayers, you got them. And for everybody out there that thinks you don't need them, well, you got them too, as well. Because we all could use a little prayer. Never hurts.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Happy to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, hanging out here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic morning this morning. If it's not that great, we're going to make it better, and if it is that great, well, we're going to keep it great, and that's what we're about here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Positivity, helping people, bringing people together, and being good to each other. So that's, and good to yourself. So make sure you don't forget that part. Be good to each other and be good to yourself. So we appreciate you being here with us on all of our wonderful channels that are streaming throughout Central and Upstate New York. Much appreciation to all of you being here with us where sports meets that thing called life, whether you're with us on Facebook.com, YouTube.com, MixLR.com, /WakeUpCallDT, as well as on Facebook.com /LiveNowDT and on WakeUpCallDT.com. So however you're connected with the show, I appreciate you so very much, and thank you for being a part of this broadcast on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So thanks for being here with us and hanging out with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. So much appreciation for that, and thank you for all that you do to just be here in the morning. You know, somebody said, well, Dan, it takes nothing, right? All I got to do is wake up in the morning and click that button for your show. It's not that hard to do. Well, you know what? It is not that hard to do, but it's very much appreciated, and I want to let you know that. Now, for those of you that were hoping for Papa J this morning, Papa Joe, hoping to see him here on the broadcast, he is going to be with us next week. He is currently traveling. God bless and Godspeed to him and Miss Mary, that they have a great rest of their trip in Wisconsin, and God willing, get home safe and sound. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all very much. So they know how much I love them, and I can't wait to see them. So very, very much looking forward to having PJ on the show next week. But he is off this week as he's been traveling with Miss Mary T to go up and visit the family and all the bros and everybody that he typically talks about when he's here on the show that's up in Wisconsin. So I know they've had a busy trip, and I know that some things have gone on since they've been on that trip. You know that he's a big fan of Laviska Shenault, and Laviska Shenault just got let go by the Jaguars, and well, I shouldn't say let go by the Jaguars, got traded by the Jaguars to the Carolina Panthers, and it's just it's a tough situation. It's a sad situation, because Jacksonville has, you know, essentially, and they've gotten rid of everybody that all the wide receivers that they drafted are gone. You know, all the young guys that they drafted are gone. Dede Westbrook is gone. We also have seen, well, Dede's gone, and besides Dede, Laviska Shenault's gone, DJ Shark's gone. It's just it's sad, and it's frustrating. You know, because it's like when you do something like that, it's like an admission of, hey, we drafted all these players and, you know, they didn't work out. And I wrote a story about it when Jacksonville went to the playoffs and almost to the Super Bowl just a few seasons ago, believe it or not. And when they got that close, I wrote a story about the players that they had drafted, and it was something ridiculous. Like every player they had drafted in like a 6-year span wasn't on the team anymore. There's like 40 some odd players that weren't on the team anymore. And to me, I was like, well, that's an admission that you drafted wrong, right? It's an admission that you didn't make the right choices when you had the opportunity to make them, because why are none of these players on the team? So it was, I mean, it's definitely been a road. It's definitely been a tough road, but the Jacksonville Jaguars hopefully will be getting, you know, their footing together, figuring things out, getting in a better place and taking care of business, because it has gotten to a point where it's like, you know, this is not the first time that they've let go of their draft picks. And when you do something like that, like I said, it's like an admission of, hey, we spent all this time and all this money in places that really didn't work out. And, you know, I mean, you look at the non-success of the Jaguars in more than a decade outside of that one season, and then you look at the fact that they're shedding all their draft picks, all these players that they brought in, and it says something to me. It really does, and it's not anything good that's being spoken to me. So it's just unfortunate to see something in that respect happen to a team that you care for so very much. But Laviska Shenault, you know, still in his rookie contract, is now a Carolina Panther, and you know that'll help out DJ Moore. Hopefully, it won't hurt DJ Moore, because I drafted him in a couple of my fantasy leagues. So hopefully, that's not going to be something that hurts. But you know, it's definitely been a tumultuous road for Jacksonville. And like I said, I mean, this year 7-10, I would be happy with that. I'm not expecting them to go crazy. I'm not expecting them to, go out there and even have a winning season. I'm just hoping that they go out there and do something positive because we all need to see it. So hopefully something good happens with my Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be on site on location with them all throughout the season, so I'll definitely have the opportunity to be close with them, and I'm always hoping the best for them, and I'm going to show up every single day because that's what true support does. True support shows up every day, right? It doesn't show up when it's sunny. It shows up when it's sunny, when it's raining, when it's monsooning, when it's snowing. We're there all the time. So, real support never goes away. True love never dies, right? So we'll take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And to flip to a positive side of thing, I go from my Jaguars to the Bobcats, right? Both Wildcats out there doing their thing. The Jaguars been pretty tame over the last few years. The Bobcats, well, their claws have been scratching. They've been hungry. And the women's soccer team for Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse is coming off winning a national championship. And I have the ring to prove it here in the studio, thanks to Alex Grigorita. He said I can keep it pretty much as long as I want to. And I wonder how many years that means. We'll have to figure it out. I'll take a step aside here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. When we come back, we will have our first of two very special Bobcat Buzz exclusive segments, and that is going to start with Kahrie Welsh from St. Kitts, the small island of St. Kitts in the Caribbean. She joins me right after this fast break to give her take on the national championship team, staying focused for this season, and everything in between, including telling her story. Very excited to have Kahrie Welsh on the broadcast and to be able to share this with you for the first time ever right after this. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York, located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway. PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com. This is Dan Tortora here with Kahrie Welsh, and very excited to have her be a part of the broadcast for the first time ever in this edition of the Bobcat Buzz, celebrating that trophy that you see right here, National Champions of 2021. So, Kahrie, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What does it mean to you to be sitting next to this thing?
Oh, man, it's such an honor, man, you know, being able to just be a part of something so special, you know. You're going up watch your idols, being able to, you know, have people to look up to, and then you have the chance to be a part of something even special, make that moment, make memories, and there you have it, you know. Once you put in the work, you get the outcome.
And you talked about the fact of looking up to your idols. Who have been some of your idols in the world of soccer?
I've been like Maradona.
Okay.
I love Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
You know, I love Nani as well. And then currently, I love, I am a defender, so I love Alessandro Martinez, you know.
Do you have a favorite of all time if you had to pick one?
Oh, Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that guy.
And why?
Oh man, he just take the chances, he take the risks, you know, he just shoots from anywhere, you know, he just take a chance. Like, it's always said, like, you miss 100% of the chances you don't take. You know, why not just take the shot? You never know if you're gonna go in. Like, you see the guy doing bicycle kicks, taking shots from half line. How many people do that? He does it, they go in, you're happy. And
you said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Have you always been someone that's willing to take the shot, or did you grow into that?
I had to grow in that. You know what I mean? I've always been like a kid, like reserved, you know. I've always been like able to watch first, because I'm not too sure if you can do anything right away, you know. So you want to see, how can I make this my own before actually going out there, put it forward. So no, yeah, I'll probably take a shot from there, definitely.
And where's home for you?
From the small Caribbean island of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay.
So, big up to the 869 gang.
Yeah, tell me about the island. Tell me about the small island.
It's two islands, you know. St. Kitts is one, Nevis is one, and they come together as one, you know, as one federation. But I live from St. Kitts, you know. It's a small town. It's very it's not a lot of people living there. As of 2020. There have been just about over 53,000 people.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a small country, but we represent well, you know what I'm saying? I'm just so happy that I have this opportunity to be here and make something of myself and have been able to look back and put my country on the map, saying that, you know, I'm from this small country, but we can do anything anybody else can do as well. You know what I'm saying?
When you represent your country, do you feel like you're representing all of the people, not just your family?
Yes, of course, because it's just not everybody get those chances. You know, I've been able to play with some of the coolest people, some of the best footballers back home, whether it's the males, the females, and everybody just don't get the opportunity that you think they deserve. So being able to have that chance, why waste it? You know what I'm saying? So whenever I do play, I just have everybody in the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying?
2021, winning that championship. You're going into the 2022 season. You're feeling good, but you got to obviously focus on 2022. How does this team stay focused and not get caught up in the fact that you won a championship?
Take it one game at a time. Do not think about, yes, we want to get to nationals again, but it's always better to have it one game at a time, like in case like we have to make any adjustment, any mistake, you know, we can see like where we go wrong. So by the time we do get to nationals, we can say like, okay, yeah, we already fixed those mistakes. We're ready to go again to get another title. Seeing now that we have new people, it's just always good to have a new addition, because now those teams don't know what to expect yet again. You know what I'm saying? We always going as the underdog. Everybody always feel like they can beat up on Bryant and Stratton, but last year we did it, and we can do it again. Just one game at a time.
What is it about Bryant and Stratton that made you come here? How did you connect with the school?
I heard about it from a friend. So I came here for the tryouts, and at the time I honestly wasn't thinking about coming back. You know, I put down football aside because I got a job at the opportunity at the time.
Okay.
So at the same time, I had just got the job, and then I got a call saying, would you come for a tryout? Normally they say when you do get the tryout, you have to wait like a few weeks to get a call back to see if you get it. And I came for the tryout and I got the spot right there and then. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. Let's go again.
3 words to describe you as a player.
Oh, creative, energetic, and fun.
And final piece here, head coach Alex Gregorita. How would you describe him?
Okay, he's honest.
Okay, fair enough.
He's respectable.
Yep.
And he's a go-getter.
He's a go-getter. Awesome. That coming from Kahrie Welsh here with us on Bryant and Stratton's Bobcat Buzz special with the women's soccer team. Congratulations on 2021, and looking forward to what you have in 2022.
Thank you so much.
Awesome experience with Kahrie Welsh. First person I've ever interviewed from St. Kitts. So pretty amazing there. I love hearing the Caribbean in her speech. I love that. And it's so unique and it's so great. And I mean, seeing this team with people from all over the world, and Alex Gregorita, Nick Dimitrievski, when it comes to these soccer teams, I mean, they're willing to go anywhere in the world to find the players that they think are going to best fit what they're trying to do, and I think that's it's incredible, and it's really fun, and it makes for something interesting to be here in Syracuse, New York, and to see people from all over the world be a part of this, you know. And in these Bobcat Buzz specials you're going to be getting over the next few days and this week and next week, when it comes to the Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse women's soccer and men's soccer teams, you're going to meet people from Canada, from Italy, from Brazil, from St. Kitts, from right here in our community of Central and Upstate New York, which I'm really looking forward to all the stories we get to tell. And at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, there's another story we're going to tell from the women's soccer team at Bryant and Stratton, and that's from their goalkeeper, Maria Gabriela Cordeiro, who goes by Gabby. So Gabby will be joining us in just a little bit here from the great country of Brazil, and we just got to have Kahrie Welsh from St. Kitts. And like I said, St. Kitts has crossed paths in my life these last few days, in a very interesting way. So I think it's pretty cool and it's pretty awesome. So definitely excited to continue to tell these stories all throughout the year and years to come with the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse, New York. Always great to talk with the Bobcats, and always great to have some time here to learn from them and to learn, what makes them tick. And like I said, Alex has been on the show so many times, and we've had the opportunity to do so many special things. And now we have the opportunity to continue that with his players. And so I'm very, very much looking forward to everything we're going to be able to do with the team this season and beyond, and looking forward to what they're going to bring to the table this season as they look to protect that national championship that they won. Protect that name, protect Bryant and Stratton, and move forward and continue to impress and continue to do the things that they need to do to be successful. So I'm very excited for everything that we are going to get to do with them and everything that we've already been able to do. So big shout out to Bryant and Stratton, and big thanks to everything that we have coming up and everything we've been able to do. You could check out the Bryant and Stratton content by going to the BSC SYR tab on wakeupcalldt.com. You can also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, and search all of our Bobcat Buzz content on the channel itself. Subscribe to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. So what you just saw here up on the screen, I want to thank you for watching and listening worldwide, including in St. Kitts, youtube.com, facebook.com, and mixlr.com, all /wakeupcalldt, and on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, as well as on facebook.com/live-now-DT. The Bobcat Buzz here for you this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, hearing from Kahrie Welsh of St. Kitts on this 2021 National Championship team, and focusing now all of her efforts toward 2022 and having success and being able to protect that reigning national champion moniker and hopefully get after another one. So much appreciation to Kahrie Welsh. And as I said, brought throughout today's show, sewn throughout today's show, we're also going to talk about Syracuse football. So we're going from football to football. F-U-T-B-O-L with the accent on the U, football, which is soccer to us here in America, and football, which to the world is soccer, but to America is football. So, it's always something, we get it, right, because we've heard it forever, but when you're somebody that's like growing up and you're a little kid and somebody tells you the difference between football and football, you look at them like they're nuts. And, it's because they're spelled differently, but they're said the same. So definitely looking forward to football and football talk here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're going to continue with some Syracuse Orange football conversation here, and we have, the opportunity to see Louisville at home. They've played annually against each other since 2005 as conference opponents because they were in the old Big East together, and then they eventually were in the ACC together and have been in the ACC together. The lone exception was the 2013 season when Syracuse joined the ACC and Louisville joined in 2014. So they joined a year later. So they played each other as conference foes since 2005, except for 2013. Now, usually it's home and home, and due to the restructured 10-game conference schedule that happened, we saw some different things going on here. So Syracuse will get Louisville at home for the first time since 2018, which is pretty crazy here. So, it's nuts. The first time Syracuse is going to have them since 2018, and 2018 was a really good season for Syracuse. They went 10-3. Their only bowl season in a very, very long time. Louisville has the all-time series over Syracuse 13-7, and so this will be their 21st game. Hopefully that's some good juju, because 21 is my favorite number, so hopefully that helps them out a little bit. It'll be their 21st game against each other, the all-time series 13-7 in favor of Louisville. 4 of Syracuse's 7 wins have come in the Dome, though, so that's good. And only 2 at Cardinal Stadium, where Syracuse has struggled a lot. And I have brought that up many, many a time as we take a look at this. Syracuse defeated Louisville in their only neutral site meeting of the series, the 1989 Coca-Cola Bowl in Tokyo. So, there you go with something interesting. In a neutral site game in 1989, I was maybe 4 years old, about to be 4 years old, because I'm an October baby. So 1980. Oh no, so I would have been 4, I think, at that time. So 4 years old in the Coca-Cola Bowl in Tokyo, the only neutral site game between Syracuse and Louisville having 13 wins, Syracuse having 7, but 4 of those 7 coming at home, which makes perfect sense because Cardinal Stadium is where Syracuse has struggled over and over and over. I mean, if this game was at Louisville, it's like a 99.8% chance that Louisville's going to win the game. So hopefully Syracuse can turn the tides on those percentages now that they're going to be inside of the dome for this game. So, very excited to see this. Now, for the first time since 2017, Syracuse is going to be running out of the tunnel in its season opener at home, ending a 5-year stretch where they have opened the season on the road, the longest stretch in program history. So, this is the first time so they're ending a 5-year stretch. So, this is the first time in 6 years that Syracuse is going to be playing at home in their season opener, which is also a beautiful thing here, and excited to see that. So, this is the first time Syracuse will open with a conference opponent in nearly 20 years. The last time it happened was 2005 against West Virginia. So there's another piece to that as well. And kind of ironic because they started playing Louisville in 2005. And the last time they opened up their season with a conference opponent was 2005. And it was West Virginia, who also was a part of the old Big East with Louisville. So kind of interesting to look at that. And then beyond that, the dual threat quarterback situation, Malik Cunningham had 3,872 yards and 39 touchdowns in 2021. Usually dynamic dual threat quarterbacks that can run and pass are a nightmare for Syracuse. Syracuse has gotten better. However, this will be a massive test to the new defensive line for the Syracuse Orange. As the Syracuse Orange, and I say new defensive line because every single one of them outside of Caleb Okachukwu's 2 starts is a new starter, and Caleb starting 2 games in his history means he wasn't the traditional starter. He was behind Josh Black and Kingsley Jonathan. So all of the starters on the defensive line are going to be new starters as far as starting the season, starting a campaign with them at the starting position. So Caleb Okechukwu, as well as Terry Lockett and JT Gear, are all new starters on the team as far as being the actual starter. I mean, Caleb had to fill in here and there. We're talking these are the starters, these are the guys, because they were behind last season. McKinley Williams, Curtis Harper at times, as well as Kingsley Jonathan and Josh Black. So, and Cody Roscoe at times as well. So these are, this is going to be a heck of a test for a team that typically struggles against dual threat quarterbacks and having, it's from the frying pan. Now, it's not the frying pan into the fire. It's it's from the frying pan into the furnace, right? This is a big old fire. It's from the frying pan into the pig roast at the New York State Fair. So, JT and Terry and Caleb, I believe in all of you. I've had all of them on the show, and I hope that you guys show out because this is going to be a massive test to start the season with a guy coming in that last season had almost 4,000 total yards and just shy of 40 touchdowns with 39. So, it's going to be interesting to see it, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. Now, Garrett Schrader is also one of those running quarterbacks, so that's another thing to take a look at. If you look at this, now, Cunningham and Garrett Schrader were the 2 highest scoring quarterbacks on the ground last season in FBS football. Cunningham led all quarterbacks and finished 4th nationally among all players with 20 rushing touchdowns last season. Schrader was 2nd among quarterbacks, 19th overall with 14 rushing touchdowns. So something to look at there. The top 2 quarterbacks, not in the ACC, top 2 quarterbacks in the nation in scoring on the ground. Malik Cunningham, 1st in the nation last year with 19. Schrader, 2nd in the nation with 14. And then overall, you look at it, and you got Malik as 4th with 20 rushing touchdowns, and Garrett Schrader with 19th with 14. So something to be said there. And also the Dome is now with its new name. This is the first game that Syracuse football will ever play in the JMA Wireless Dome. That's no longer called the Carrier Dome, which has been called since it opened in December of 1980. So it's the first time that we've seen a name change in the Dome in 42 years. It's just pretty crazy. Now, Syracuse is 92, 34, and 4 in home openers all time, including winning 7 of the last 9. Now, remember, they haven't had any in the last 5 seasons, but they won 7 of the last 9, 92 wins, 34 losses, and back when you could tie, they had 4 ties. And we have Sean Tucker with the hashtag pleased, and kind of a joke on what he would say about him playing, every single week. They would play a game, and then Sean Tucker for the last couple seasons would put out a tweet and say, I'm very pleased with my performance. I did this, this, and this today. So very interesting here. Now, Greg said, the good old days, bowl eligibility is fun. I miss it. Yeah, I miss it too. I think you should have a winning record to get into a bowl, but there's so many of them that you can go 6-6. Some cases 5-7. One year, a team made it at 4-8 because they needed somebody to fill the spot, which is really crazy. So, getting back to Sean Tucker, the hashtag that you see out there is pleased, with the E and the A replaced by the numbers 3 and 4 to match Sean Tucker's jersey. Sean Tucker is back up for his 3rd season with Syracuse. He's considered a sophomore, which is insane, because he was a true freshman for 2 straight years because of the fact of COVID giving an extra season. Now, he enters this season being named to the Maxwell Award, the Doak Walker Award, and the Walter Camp Player of the Year Award watch list, is a preseason All-American, and was put out there as one of the best 15 players in college football by ESPN this offseason. There's also Heisman hopes for him. He's already rushed for 2,122 yards and is 20th all-time at Syracuse after leading the ACC and finishing 4th in the nation in yards per game last season. A true freshman actually led everybody in it. Kenneth Walker III, who was in Wake Forest, went to Michigan State and is now a Seattle Seahawk, was 2nd on that list. So Sean Tucker, 4th in the entire nation of all FBS 130-plus teams, 4th in the nation in yardage gained last season, and is already 20th all-time on Syracuse's overall list, and number 1 on Syracuse's list, passing Joe Morris for single-season rushing yard total. He's already made Syracuse history above Joe Morris, above Larry Zonka, above Ernie Davis, above Floyd Little, above Jim Brown, and everybody else with the yardage he gained in a single season. And he's already a 2,000-yard back. And he's heading toward the 2,500-yard club, which is something that my guy Mo Neal got to do wearing my favorite number 21. So we'll see what Sean can do. If he gets 1,000 yards, well, he doesn't even need 1,000 yards this season. If he gets, let me see here if I could do my math correctly. If he gets what he needs, and that's that. So I think it's 778 yards? 878 yards he needs. If he gets 878 yards this season on the ground, he'll be a 3,000-yard back. Crazy. So heading toward 3K, which is insane. I mean, if he stayed at Syracuse, and I don't anticipate that he would stay in Syracuse after this season, if God willing he stays healthy and all goes well, then I would say he's probably heading off to the NFL. If he were to stay, he would be a 4,000-yard back potentially, which is just uncanny. That's just insane. But yeah, over 2,000 yards in his career at Syracuse, and big ups to him for that. Seeing what he's 2,122. He had 626 as a true freshman in the COVID year. Remember, yeah, he started playing during the COVID year, and it was because Abdul Adams had opted out, and after Abdul Adams had opted out, Jawar Jordan had also opted out, Abdul Adams had opted out, Jarvion Howard had opted out, and then Jawar Jordan Jr. got injured, and so he was 4th string, which is why I call him Dino Babers' happy accident, because he fell into having to play Sean Tucker. And then you watch Sean Tucker and you're like, how did this man not play like every single second of every snap ever since he came to Syracuse? So 137 attempts in 2020, 626 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns as a true freshman. In his second freshman year, due to COVID, getting an extra year, 246 carries, which was over 100 more than the season before, 1,496 yards, which was more than 800 yards from the season before, 6.1 yards a carry, so the more he ran the ball, the farther he brought it on average. 6.1 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns for 16 rushing touchdowns, 5.5 yards a carry on average, almost 400 carries in 2 years with 383 and 2,122 yards. Where he stands right now, by the beautiful world of math, which I did without my calculator, and I will fact check myself here, with 878 yards, as I said, with 878 yards to go, he will hit 3,000 yards. So if he gets less yards than he got last year, he will be a 3,000 yard back at Syracuse. If he gets 1,000 yards or more, he will be a 3,000 yard and then some at Syracuse. So I hope he gets another 1,000 yards, and I hope we get to see this happen again. I am so happy and so pleased with all the work that he's done. He's been incredible, and there's so much to be said about Sean Tucker. So we'll see what those tweets look like after games this season, if he's going to be pleased with his performance and let everybody know what he thinks he did right and what he can work on and all that good stuff. But the hashtag is out there now, the hashtag for pleased, which I think is kind of funny and, fitting for him for sure. So excited to see where he's going to go from here, and definitely looking forward to it on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. With that being said, we're going to take a step aside as we head into hour number 2, here where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from inside of the Café Kubal studios. The Bobcat Buzz is happening throughout today's show, as well as interwoven Syracuse football talk, so that we can have talk on football. And we'll be doing that with you throughout today's show all the way to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You heard from Kahrie Welsh from the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse National Championship team of 2021 and upcoming team here of 2022 for their women's soccer team. So very excited to hear from Kahrie Welsh of St. Kitts. And in about a half an hour from now, you'll hear for the first time ever on Wake Up Call from Maria Gabriela, a.k.a. Gabby Cordeiro, coming to us from the great country of Brazil as the goalkeeper on this team that didn't allow a goal in the national championship game for Bryant and Stratton this past year, and is back inside of the beautiful box here on the women's soccer team. She'll be back guarding that goal once again for the 2022 season. So big time shout out to Gabby on that. We'll be talking with her in a half an hour from now. So take a step aside for a fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and be back right after this, where sports meets life, inside of the Café Kubal studios. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, hanging out with you where sports meets that thing called life, and hope you're having yourself a tremendous morning this morning, having a great time as we are here with Cafe Kubal, 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, New York, as well as inside of their double-decker cafe on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, and on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners in their drive-through location in North Syracuse. So make sure you go out and check them out there and head out to Cafe Kubal in the community 7 days a week here for you. So make sure you do that. Let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and head off to cafekubal.com for those of you that are out of town so you can get out there and get some Cafe Kubal for yourself, despite the fact that you're not here in the community. Maybe you're traveling or maybe you live somewhere else. So make sure you come out and see us. So we got some messages coming in here. I want to get to them. And so these are the games you got to win if the team has aspirations to get 6 or more wins this season with this schedule. Absolutely. Yeah, they got to beat Louisville, but Louisville's going to be a really tough task here. And let's see here. William Pagan, the dad of Enrique A. Cruz Jr., he said, Syracuse tailgate, can't wait for Saturday. Very excited for that. And he said, Tucker is a beast. Absolutely, 1,000% correct on that one. And so Tucker is 1,000,000% a beast. And then we have some other things coming in here. The North Brewery, like that. So can't wait for tailgate, can't wait for Saturday. And then told me Grandma's coming into town. So Grandma's coming with on Saturday. All right, I'm gonna have to come out and see you all then, because I want to see the family in general, but definitely got to see Grandma as well. And so I heard about Grandma's rice. I heard about what she makes and what she's got. And when I have my running mate Enrique A. Cruz Jr. and we bond together to have the first Hispanic presidency for president and vice president ever, that Grandma said that when we have that, I said we're gonna have a big party on the front lawn of the White House. And Enrique said he's like Grandma will bring her rice, because I said, is she gonna cook? So Grandma's gonna bring the rice. I got to meet Grandma. Hopefully Grandma, maybe she's got some homemade. I don't want to make her do any work, but maybe if she's got some homemade stuff laying around, she can bring it out, to this and have a little dish, right? Because I got to try. All I've heard about is how great Grandma is and how awesome her cooking is. So I'm looking forward to seeing her, giving her a big old hug, and if there's some rice lying over from this week, I'm not going to be mad if she brings it. That's what I'm going to say. So with that being said, continuing the conversation in Syracuse football and with the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats, I do want to make a note here and let you all know the schedule, if you if you don't have it here, I do want to give you this schedule, and I'm going to be posting this as well to give you what's going on here for this upcoming season. So this is how the schedule looks for the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats of Syracuse. So they have their first game of the season this coming Tuesday, which is September 6th, and that game is at 3 p.m. at home. It's against BSC Albany. Then they're on the road against Mohawk Valley Community College the next day, on Wednesday, September 7th at 4. And then they have 3 straight home games. Monroe College, which is on September 10th at 5 p.m. Then they have 5 Towns on September 17th at 11 a.m. And then they have William Smith College at 1 p.m. on September 18th. And then they have William Smith on the road at 7:30 on September 22nd. They have a home game on September 28th against Finger Lakes Community College at 4. And UMFK at 3 p.m. on October 6th. That's another home game. And then they'll have 4 straight away games before they finish up at home. And their final game of the regular season is SUNY ESF at 1 p.m. on October 23rd, 2 days after my birthday. So plenty of home games coming up, and they start off this season with 4 of their first 5 games at home, which it's funny how we're talking about Bryant and Stratton women's soccer here in Syracuse and the Syracuse football team, because they both parallel each other in schedule. Syracuse has 5 of their first 6 games of the season at home for football. Bryant and Stratton's women's soccer team has 4 of their first 5 games at home, and so that's really cool to see that. They have, like I said, home games on September 6th, September 10th, September 17th, and September 18th, all at home. And that September 6th game, first game of the season at 3 p.m. against Bryant and Stratton College of Albany this Tuesday, September 6th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you can squeak over there and to Jones Road and hang out, you should definitely come out and see them do their thing. And maybe you'll see me out there as well. So with that being said, a big shout out, and kind of cool that they have a situation where Syracuse football 5-6 to start the season at home, and Bryant and Stratton women's soccer 4-5 at home to start off their season. So pretty interesting with all of that. With that being said, taking a look back to Syracuse football here and this upcoming season, and I mean, I can't believe it, and I think that that's something that, knowing that the season is here, right? The soccer seasons are here. Lemoyne's already started their men's and women's soccer season. Haven't had a loss. 2-0 for the men, 1-0-1 for the women. And, so just seeing the teams get out there, get after it, and do what they need to do has been awesome here in our community of Central and Upstate New York. And now, seeing that Syracuse football is getting ready to kick things off here, and Louisville is the first one on the docket. People want to know how you can connect with it. Well, this game is Saturday, September 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so it's Saturday Night Lights, and it's going to be at the new JMA Wireless Dome. The Dome was upgraded over the last 2 seasons. It was upgraded again over this past off season, so there's been a bunch of upgrades to it. Hopefully the internet works, especially for those of us in the media that are trying to get our stories and our interviews and everything out to you. And the game's going to be on ACC Network. On radio, it's going to be on TK99 and TK105. So make sure that you make a note for that. Syracuse does have some games on ESPN this season. Their September 17th game against Purdue at noon is on ESPN2, and that's a Big Ten ACC game. And then an ACC conference game, they'll be on ESPN Friday night, September 23rd at 7 p.m., so they will be on ESPN for that. So that's good to see as well. And a bunch of these games are still waiting to see who the TV provider is going to be, but we at least know that in normal cable situations, or if you have the ESPN app, you'll be able to watch at least the September 17th game at home against Purdue and September 23rd game at home against Virginia if you're not in the Dome itself. So that's a good thing, because a lot of these games have been very difficult for Syracuse fans to watch in Syracuse, which sounds absolutely insane, yet it's very true. You can't go to 3, 5, or 9 anymore. You have to go wherever the ACC goes, and the ACC goes to ESPN+, ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, and ACC Network. And I love that they're all available, but I don't love that they cost more, and I don't love that it's very difficult to do without cable. So, not a fun thing here. And like I said, some of the other conferences made deals with ESPN where ESPN carried the games, and the local television stations in the area of each college and university could also carry the games, even though ESPN had them, so that people locally wouldn't get blacked out, wouldn't miss a game, and would be able to see everything. So I like that system where it's like, hey, 3, 5, and 9, you can still keep the games, or whatever it is, that they make a deal with. Like, you can still have the game, and we're going to show them on ESPN. Being in the situation they're in right now is very difficult, because if you don't have the ACC network, and if you don't pay extra for the ACC network and you don't pay extra for ESPN Plus, you're going to miss games. And that's unfortunate. But you can always go out to Pizza Man Pub. You can always go out to the Wildcat Sports Pub and watch these games. So I implore you to do so. For those of you out in the Camillus area, head to the Wildcat. For those of you out by Beeville area, you can head to Pizza Man and enjoy it. It's sad that it's so difficult to watch a game in Syracuse. It really is. It's sad that this is what it's become, because everybody wants to make money. But at the same time, I am excited by the fact that some of these games are going to at least be on ESPN to make things a little bit easier for the people that are out there trying to watch the games. And we make it easy for you worldwide, because it's free to watch and listen to Wake Up Call, and we're accessible everywhere. You don't have to buy this, go to this, turn to this, move to that, head to that, go to this, go to that, go to this. You don't have to do any of that for us. All you have to do is find us on YouTube, Facebook, and mixlr.com, all / Wake Up Call DT. You can also find us on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, which I suggest you bookmark and save forever, because it's got all of our content right there. And of course, you could find us on facebook.com / livenowdt as well. So however you're connecting with the show, we appreciate you for being with us where sports meets that thing called life. And I can't thank you enough for being a part of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So many thanks and much appreciation to all of you out there connecting with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and being a part of the show. So thank you for your time, and thank you for finding us all over the country, as we have worked to make it easy for you to be a part of that. And once the shows go live, you can go to our archive, and these are also available worldwide: Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, TuneIn, YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, Podvine, and Player FM. All you have to do on any one of these outlets, and if you have CarPlay, which most of us do right now, I'd imagine, keep us safe on the road. For those of you that have CarPlay, most of these apps, a bunch of these apps are already available to you when you plug in your phone, and you'll be able to pull us up on any one of these. So make sure when you're in a parked location that you go ahead and go to any one of these outlets, you type in Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, you find us, you save us, you bookmark us, and you're there with us listening and watching to the broadcast. And like I said, I can't thank you enough for doing that and being a part of the show. So with that being said, here we got a few minutes before Gabby will be joining us in our next Bobcat Buzz special. So we head back to the Syracuse football team. Earlier this week I broke down the depth chart, and I want to look at Syracuse statistically as we look at the team from last season and the returners that Syracuse has here, because they have lost some things, but you get back Sean Tucker, people feel really good about that. And you get some other people back on the defensive side of the ball. You get some of those young guys back at linebacker and in the secondary, and it's really huge help to the Syracuse Orange. Garrett Schrader last season had a 52.6% completion percentage, and everybody's hoping that's going to be a lot higher. Mind you, not all those were his fault. There were a bunch of drops. 1,445 yards passing and 9 touchdowns. On the ground, like I said, he had 14. So he ended last season with 23 overall touchdowns. Big shout out to Garrett Schrader for his amazing play last season overall. Listen, his completion percentage was down, Dan, and yada, yada, yada. We didn't see him go down the field. Yeah, he also accounted for 23 touchdowns. So there is talent there with Garrett Schrader. I'm told they're going to throw the ball more. I'm told there may be more balance here. There's going to be some more back and forth between passing and rushing. So we'll see. And I've also been told by his teammates on offense and defense, by receivers and DBs, that they don't understand why he's getting a bad rap for not being a good passer. They think he's better than people give him credit for. So we'll see this season as he has Coach Beck training him. And Coach Beck worked with Brennan Armstrong in Virginia and had a very nice opportunity there with Virginia to move the ball forward, and they did swimmingly in the passing game. So shout out with Coach Beck, and you got to give some credit to Brennan, obviously. So credit to Coach Beck, credit to Brennan, and credit to and credit to Coach Anai. Last season, Brennan Armstrong had a 65.2% completion percentage. He attempted 500 passes. He threw for 4,449 yards for 31 touchdowns. And Coach Anai trying to, find some ways to make it work and utilize Brennan to his strengths. So hopefully they can look at Garrett Schrader's strengths, understand he's a dual threat quarterback, and find a way to make all of this work as well. Sean Tucker, we talked about here, back on the team. Here's a crazy thing. So Sean Tucker and Garrett Schrader are the two leading rushers on the team returning. Tommy DeVito was third on the team in leading the team in rushing yards. He's not there anymore. He's the starting quarterback and won his first game as the Illinois Fighting Illini starting quarterback in the Big Ten. Cooper Lutz is gone as well. Abdu Adams is gone, and Jarvion Howard is gone. So the next leading rusher after Sean Tucker and Garrett Schrader is Courtney Jackson, who is a wide receiver who ran for 23 yards last season. So this is open season for LaQuint Allen, who's a true freshman, who's in the two deep as the backup running back to Sean Tucker, wearing number 20. Outside of that, so that's pretty crazy there to see something like that as far as rushing yards go. And then in receiving, we take a look at receiving. Courtney Jackson led the team last year with 389 yards receiving. Damian Alford second with 249. Anthony Quealy with 222. Devon Cooper for 199. All those guys are back. Sherrod Johnson and Taj Harris are gone. Aronde Gadsden II's been moved to tight end, but that's just, I think another way to get him out there, and he's 6'6". So you can put him wherever you want to put him. He's a weapon in the receiving game, and that's all that matters. On the defensive side, our returners here in total tackles, Michael Jones at linebacker with 109. He's back. Stephon Thompson, second in tackles with 79, is back. Marlo Wax is back third with 60 last season. Garrett Williams had 52 tackles last season. He's back. And then Cody Roscoe is gone. Darian, a.k.a. Deuce Chestnut, next on the list, number 6 last year in total tackles with 43. He's back. Jeff Canton-Arcu's gone. Justin Barron's back. He had 42. Jason Simmons Jr. is back. He had 38. And then Josh Black is gone. Jihad Carter's back with 35. Him and Josh Black both had 35. Rob Hanna's back, who had 30. Eric Coley's back, who had 27. Then McKinley Williams had 24. Caleb Okechukwu had 21. So most of that defense, especially at the top of things, is back. Michael Jones, Stephon Thompson, and Marlo Wax, the three leading tacklers last season, Garrett Williams, the top 4 leading tacklers on Syracuse's defense are all back from last year, linebackers and DB respectively. So having Michael Jones, Stephon Thompson, Marlo Wax, and Garrett Williams back means that you have your top 4 tacklers returning to the team, and the majority of your top 15 is coming back outside of McKinley Williams, Josh Black, Jeff Canton-Arcu, and Cody Roscoe. So 11 of your top 15 tacklers on defense are back, and Syracuse returning, I believe, 17 starters from last season, which is the most in the ACC. So the hope is they can take that season last season that was 5-7 and kind of meh. You go back and look at last season and say to yourself, it's just, it was a frustrating year. It was a year that you thought Syracuse would go to a bowl game, and they ended just shy of the bowl game, which was very frustrating. And now, you go back and you take a look at it for Syracuse in 2021, and go back and look at that season as you get ready for this season. I know you got to leave it all behind you, but just making a note. 5-7 last season. They lost the final 3 games in a row, and that's been typical of Syracuse in recent history when you have to win just a couple games. I mean, the year they beat Clemson, There's like, how many games do they have left? And I was like, 6. He's like, oh, yeah, well, they're definitely going to a bowl game. I was like, no. I said, knowing how Syracuse is gone, they'll probably lose them all. And they did. They lost every game. They went 4-8. I mean, it was atrocious to see something like that happen. You beat Clemson. I said, if you beat Clemson, but you don't go to a bowl game, it's every squirrel gets a nut. You know, you gotta take care of the rest of the season. You can't just take care of that one game against Clemson. And so that was a tumultuous year. Last year they started at Ohio, like I said, 5 straight years starting on the road. This year will end that streak. They beat Ohio last year 29-9. And that's when Tommy DeVito was still out there doing his thing. At Rutgers at home, they lost 17-7. That was an awful game. Nobody could score to save their lives. And it was not a boring game. It was just a defensive game. Offense couldn't get going. Offense sputtered on both sides. And then eventually, you know, the offense of Rutgers did a little bit more in a game where it was like, why can't Syracuse move the ball? And then against Albany, they won 62-24 at home. They beat Liberty after Liberty beat them the season before. Liberty's first ever win against an ACC opponent was Syracuse in the Dome. Nuts. And then they went on to defeat Virginia, and I think they almost defeated NC State that year. So Syracuse returned the favor in a close game, 24-21. Then Syracuse lost 3 games straight by 3 points in the ACC, which was awful. And any one of these games would have made them bowl eligible. That's what makes it smart even more. Lost 33-30 on the road in a last-second field goal by Florida State. Lost 40-37 in double overtime at home against Wake. Lost on a fade route. I talked to Isaac about that yesterday. Lost 17-14 against Clemson at home, which is another heartbreaker. Neither team could score in that game. Then they defeated Virginia Tech on the road 41-36, beat Boston College at home 21-6, and then, as they typically do, like I said, 99.8% of the time, on the road at Louisville, they lose. They lost in Cardinal Stadium. They don't just lose to Louisville, and it doesn't matter Louisville's record, mind you. Whenever Syracuse goes to Louisville, it's not only a loss, sometimes it's a massively embarrassing one. This wasn't one of the most embarrassing ones, but it was probably potentially close. They lost 41-3. And then they lost 41-17 against NC State on the road and lost 31-14 against Pittsburgh. So in their last 3 games last season, Syracuse scored 34 points. In their last 3 games combined, they scored 34 points. And they gave up 113. Giving up 41 points in back-to-back games at Louisville and at NC State. So, you know, Syracuse last season, 1 game away from becoming bowl eligible. And when you go back and you look at how they ended the season, where you give up over 100 points and you only score 34 in your last 3 games, which is an average of a little over 10 per game, and then you lose 3 games in the ACC in a row by 3 points, and any one of those games would have put you in a bowl. So it was a very, very tough way to watch the ending of last season. Sean Tucker was the brightest of bright spots. The fact that him and Garrett Schrader provided a dual threat gave some fun to the team. And the fact that the defense did some good things gave some positives to the team as well. But now you got to put it all together. Now you got to figure it out. Now you got to close the gap, right? This team can't go 5-7 this year. They can't go 4-8 this year. They can't go any less than that. They got to go 6-6 or better. You have to show improve. Dino has to show improve. This team as a whole has to show improve. You cannot almost get there. You got to get there. Dino didn't get there, got there with Schaefer's guys, got there with Dungy, who's a friggin' dog, and then didn't get there. So, you know, 4-8s, that's what Schaefer did in the beginning. Well, that's what he did in 2 out of 3 seasons, and people chastised him for it. Dino started off with 2 4-8s. 5-7 and 5-7, sandwiched in the middle of that 1-10. The only other coach to go 1-10, may he rest in peace and God bless him. The only other Syracuse coach to go 1-1 and whatever in a season was Greg Robinson. So, and people consider him the worst coach in the history of Syracuse football. Dino matched that. So, you know, this is put up or shut up time. You got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to get it done. You got to find a way to move forward. They have to go to a bowl game this season. They have to go to a bowl game this season. I don't think 6-6 is good enough, but I think it's the best you're going to get. I said this team is somewhere between 4-8 and 6-6, which is why my prediction is 5-7. I believe they can get to 6-6, but I don't see them going higher than that. So I want them to go 12-0 as a fan and a native of Syracuse. As a broadcaster, impartial, looking at the numbers, looking at the teams, looking at the facts, I see 5-7. Hopefully 6-6. I would love for them to go 12-0, but they have a tough schedule, and they just have not consistently got it done in Dino Babers' era. They've been individually good, but not great as a team. And I put that on coaching and leadership, because if you're good individually, but you're not good collectively, that's a management problem. That's not a player problem. If you got a bunch of good players doing good things, look at Sean Tucker's season last season. You look at his season and you go, oh, that team probably went to a bowl game, right? They probably went to a New Year's Six bowl. Nope. They didn't go to anywhere. They stayed home in December. So, individually talented is wonderful. Collectively great is more important. And Syracuse has got to find a way to get it done. And I think that's on Dino and the staff to prove that this year as they step forward. And as we step forward, we'll be going from football to football as we head back to the field with our Bobcat Buzz special coming up after this fast break with Maria Gabriela, a.k.a. Gabby Cordeiro, joining us from the Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse Bobcats, telling her story as the goalkeeper who didn't allow a single goal to be scored in the national championship game, which aided in Bryant and Stratton's women's soccer team in Syracuse having their first ever national championship ring, which is right here in my studio, courtesy of Alex Grigorita, their head coach. We'll take a step aside for a fast break and be back with Gabby right after this.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York, open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, you can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus, where you will find handcrafted all-natural soy wax candles over 60 cents to freshen up your home. We carry a wide range of locally made items, Syracuse, Syracuse Salt, and Chocolate Pizza Company, to name a few. Let our knowledgeable staff help choose unique gifts and keepsakes for any occasion. Gifts for family and friends, and maybe a little something for yourself. Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus.
We are here in this edition of the Bobcat Buzz with Maria Gabriela Cordeiro. She likes to be called Gabby, and she's here from the great country of Brazil as we are celebrating this 2021, I should say, national championship and the 2022 upcoming season. Gabby, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
So we talked a little bit off the air about Brazil. How would you describe Brazil?
Brazil is like a really nice country, and right now it's kind of like similar to here because it's like hot there and it's really cool. The soccer is actually like, I would say it's getting better now. I'm not gonna put it like in a high level, but we're getting there. So I think like people coming from that to give us some support, so it's gonna be nice.
Well, and when we look at World Cup for, men's and women's, we see that Brazil typically has held their own, across many countries.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you to come from a country where soccer is known so well?
Yeah, it's funny because everybody like just label you before knowing you because they say, oh, you're Brazilian, so you should know how to play soccer or how to dance, and that's not even true. But I wouldn't say like I feel a lot of responsibility on it because it depends. That's not just like that, but it's nice to be known like that, and it's actually even better when you have an idea how to play, and then you can do a great season like we did last year, and then basically fit with the like people think about you. So it's nice.
So you said if you come from Brazil, they expect you to play soccer and know how to dance.
Yeah.
Well, you know how to play soccer, so do you know how to dance?
No, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of, when I worked down at Epcot and at Disney, there's a lot of dancing, a lot of chanting when they come in. So
yeah, I don't think I was born to dance.
Right.
I was born to play soccer, definitely.
And how long have you been playing?
I started when I was 5.
Okay.
And yeah, I went through like play and goalie as a player, as a goalie, back and forth. When like in Brazil, when you're young, you don't really have like women's soccer. You have to play with the guys. So I was for so long as a player, and then when I was 13, 14, I started going to the goal and doing some stuff. And from there, I just said, I think I better stay here. I was doing actually a good job, so I felt I should never leave that place.
So what got you here from Brazil?
2017, I had an opportunity to play in New York City, to go to a JUCO, junior college, and to be honest, I never really thought about it because before I couldn't believe in myself. I was like, I'm short, so like I was like, I can't play soccer, like, to be honest, like professional or just something close to it. But I don't know, I wanted to live the experience, so I just ended up coming to New York, and then like a few years later, I had the opportunity to come to Bryant, Stratton.
And how did Bryant and Stratton come about? Did Alex get in touch with you, or how did that all work out?
I guess he knew my coach or something, so they're in touch, and then like they just like gave my name, my Facebook, and Coach Alex was talking to me, and I really wanted to finish my degree because I came here, I started, and then I just didn't want to be halfway. So it was basically, let's say, both hands, play soccer, which I really love to do, and study, which was like my goal to be here in America.
So what are you studying that you want to make sure you got your degree in?
I'm finishing my bachelor's in business.
Okay, and what are you hoping to do?
I hope after that I can apply for OPT and just work in the area and then see from there. Like for international, it's not that like easy, so we have to like go, let's say, day by day, year by year to know what's gonna happen.
So for you to be here in the States, you spent time in Brazil, you spent time in America. Do you have a preference now?
It's hard. When I go to Brazil, I love to be there with my family, my friends. Like I really have a nice time. But when I come here, I just feel the responsibility as a like athlete, as a person, as let's say kind of like professionally talking, because I have to play, and it gives me like a nice feeling. I don't want to just be there. Like it's really nice to have a break, don't take me wrong, but it's even better when you have the responsibilities, your duties, and you know like, okay, I want to do that for life. So like, get back is just a really good feeling.
You speak about get back. The team won a national championship last year. How do you get back there this year?
You mean in comparing between last year and this year?
Well, knowing what it takes to win a championship, what would you say it's going to take this year for this team? What have you learned, so to speak?
What I've learned?
Yeah, from last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
I think the key is you really have to put effort when you're playing, and no matter what happens, if you start losing the game and then you think there is no way to go over it, but you still have to believe in everybody and then push everybody to the end, because it's 90 minutes or extra time, it depends, but it's always like a group, a teamwork. Everybody has to go for the same side. If you have someone going for a different side, it's not gonna work. So you have to be unique, and then everybody needs to go together. I think that was our key for last year. I don't know if we had the best team, but we had the best group.
Okay.
For sure. Everybody was always supporting each other. Everybody was always like going for each other, even though they committing a mistake, and then we're trying to fix the other one. And that was, I believe, that brought us to the first place last year.
So 3 words because you described the team very well there. 3 words to describe you as a player.
As a player, I would say about myself, I try as much as I can be really confident on myself. Sometimes even too much.
Okay.
Which is funny, but I just I don't know, I feel good being confident on myself. And I would say I'm very disciplined.
Okay.
I try as much as I can to do everything in the right way when I'm in season, and try to go every practice and do my best. Rest, eat, do everything that would bring me to be successful.
Words to describe head coach Alex Grigorita.
Funny. He's really nice, I would say, as a coach. Not only as a coach, to be honest, as a person, he always tried to understand everybody, which is one of the, I would say, differences between our school and some schools around. You can go around and then you're gonna find nice people, nice team, but maybe not in the same way that he tries to be a dad for everybody. And that's the difference, because I think everybody feels so comfortable between along him. And as a coach, he's so understandable, and he makes you feel good. If you're not feeling good, it's okay. He's gonna go for you, he's gonna talk to you, and he's gonna make you feel good with his not too good jokes, but he's gonna make you feel good. So it's really he's really, really supportive, and then that's really something that makes me feel so good when I come here.
Yeah, coming from Gabby of the Bryant and Stratton Syracuse women's soccer team. Thanks, Gabby.
Thank you.
Coming once again inside of the Bobcat Buzz with our 2 specials that came up for you today from Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse with the women's soccer team, featuring Kahrie Welsh from St. Kitts and Maria Gabriela, a.k.a. Gabby Cordeiro, coming to us from Brazil. So very much appreciate these 2 wonderful student athletes at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse for joining me. Thanks to Kahrie and thanks to Gabby for being a part of the show where sports meets life and being a part of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. So these that you heard from today are national champions vying for the opportunity at doing it again, protecting that cup. So 2021 national champions. Now the slate is wiped clean in 2022, and their first game is this Tuesday, September 6th at home against Bryant and Stratton College of Albany on Jones Road. So you should come out and see them Tuesday, September 6th at 3 p.m., and that will kick off officially the 2022 season. So many thanks to Gabby Cordeiro and Kahrie Welsh for joining the show today. And a thank you to you as well for talking some Syracuse football with us. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called Life, youtube.com, facebook.com, and mixlr.com, all / Wake Up Call DT, on facebook.com / Live Now DT, and on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage. So however connecting with us, we thank you so much for being a part of the show here where sports truly meets that thing called life. Can't thank you enough for being a part of it and connecting with us on all of our platforms, as well on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, and iTunes and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do on any one of these outlets is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. You can also ask your Alexa or Google Home device to play the latest episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and they'll do that for you as well. So make sure you do that. A big thanks to our Central and Upstate New York partners and beyond, Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, as well as Witty Wicks, Avicoli's, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, PB&J's Lunchbox, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, and Mother's Cupboard. Of course, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It is fins up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with the Lemoyne College Dolphins every single month. And on Wednesdays, we call it Dolphin Time. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time every single week, we have the Dolphins with us. On odd weeks, first and third week of each month, we have AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, talking with you on pertinent topics of the day. And every second and fourth Wednesday, the even weeks of the month at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we bring you our Dolphin Dive, where we dive into the stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. So big time thanks to all of the wonderful people there at Lemoyne College, past, present, and future, that we have the wonderful opportunity of getting to speak with. So I thank them so very much for all of that. And you can check all of our Dolphin content by going to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel on youtube.com / wakeupcalldt. And for more information on the Dolphins, head to lemoynedolphins.com. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Marywood University Pacers. It is Pacer Pride every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and you will hear from your Pacers on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on Fridays for our Pacer Pride exclusive specials with student athletes, administration, and coaches. All of our Pacer content is on the Marywood tab on wakeupcalldt.com. That's click on Marywood right there on wakeupcalldt.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel on youtube.com / wakeupcalldt. Much appreciation and many thanks, as always, to the Marywood University Pacers. Get more information on the Pacers by going to marywoodpacers.com. I cannot help but dance to the beat every time I hear that. The exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse comes to you here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, bringing you the Bobcat Buzz every single month, which is what we call our coverage of the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats of Syracuse. You got to hear today from two student athletes who we've never had on the show before. Got to give a spotlight to Kahrie Welsh and her home of St. Kitts, and a spotlight to Maria Gabriela, a.k.a. Gabby Cordeiro, to her and to Brazil, her home country. So many thanks to these two national champions who are now on the team for 2022, looking to get after it again starting this Tuesday, September 6th. Thanks to Kahrie Welsh and Gabby Cordeiro and everybody from the women's soccer team at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse that's going to be featured very soon in more editions of the Bobcat Buzz, as well as a roundtable discussion and a roundtable discussion with Nick Dimitrievsky and the men's team. So very excited to do that as well. A lot of great stuff coming up. Big shout out to Alex Grigorita, Clay Gagan-Sherman, Sean Peak, Tay Baker, and the entire staff at Bryant and Stratton. You can get all of our content with the Bobcats by going to BSCSYR tab on wakeupcalldt.com, as well as subscribing to our youtube.com / wakeupcalldt channel. And for more information on your Bobcats, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. We are going to bid you adieu here as we have something very special coming up with Lemoyne that we'll be featuring next week for you. So I'm very excited about that. And so we'll be talking with you very soon. You can get my exclusive sit-down conversations in the Bobcat Buzz with Kahrie Welsh and Gabriela Cordeiro by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and clicking subscribe. And both of the videos you watched today have already aired separately on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, so you can access them individually right now with Gabby and Kahrie. So make sure you check those out today. I hope you have a fantastic day. Can't wait to talk to you this Friday with the annoying moment of the week, which I'll be sure to give you a couple different ones, as last week we were down at Hooters Week Live for my drive. So there'll be at least 2 scoops of the annoying moment of the week presented by Carvel DeWitt tomorrow. There'll be 2 topics for Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. And I'll announce 2 top dogs of the week, proudly brought to you by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. And we'll have another special conversation coming up for you. So, with all that being said, thank you for all you do to connect with the show. God bless, no stress, do your best. Find us on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, the Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. Please be good to each other. Be good to yourself.